Welcome, everyone. I am Elizabeth Kisser. I am so excited and privileged to have a dear sweet soul and a mentor of mine, Julie Reisler. A little bit about Julie. She is a spiritual coach and an intuitive guide. She has been a TEDx speaker and host of the Youest You Podcast, which is absolutely amazing. She comes with really top rankings and from 175 countries around the world. So she's a cat's meow. The founder of the Intuitive Life Design Coach certification and has spent over a decade helping people heal core wounds, unlocking their intuition, and stepping into their fullest versions of themselves. Her work weaves together with somatic healing, intuitive guidance, and a deep level soul of mentorship. She also is a Georgetown University faculty member and an authority. Simply put, Julie helps people to come home to who they really are. And I can say from my experience with her, she's absolutely amazing, absolutely wonderful. I had the blessing and the opportunity to work with her in person at a conference in Boone that was last June with Anjie Hipple. And it was just so beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Julie, for joining us today. Please do share with us. Tell us a bit about your journey and your heart's passion.
Well, first of all, I'm really happy to be here. And I think it's fantastic that you are offering this kind of conversation out in the world. We need it. And so when you asked me, Elizabeth, I was like, yes, definitely, definitely. I love this conversation. In terms of where to begin, there's a lot with my journey. I think the thing that you spoke of earlier, even just in reading, it's so easy to hear someone's bio and think like, oh, that's great. It all sounds like it's, got a ribbon around it. And for me, I think the thing to say is my purpose, who I am today, what I'm most interested in comes out of a lot of my own struggles and shadow work and dark nights and a major awakening that literally shifted I'm literally on a different timeline. And everything is completely different than where I was about 17 years ago. And for me as an experiential learner, and I have a feeling others listening, we're here to get our hands in the clay, to play, to figure it out, to learn, to grow. It's not about getting it right or wrong. And, when we call this place Earth School, right? Many people call it that. I really think of it as, they're different lessons, they're different opportunities to grow. And so for me, really all this work, what you were mentioning, it has come from doing the work. I continue to do it daily, but especially I struggled with addiction for a long time. And so that was actually such a gift because it got me into support and recovery rooms and really excavating the most important person in relationship with was myself, right? The one person you're going to spend the most time with is yourself. And so
Right?
learning to love and appreciate and just and accept and bring that to myself no matter what. That was a process that I think also in doing that brought up anything where I was not being that or that was not serving anymore. And so that was that intersection. I had a 3:33 a.m. wake up. Literally, that was the time I saw it on the clock. And I had two kids under the age of 2, and my inner voice, my intuition was very clear that it wasn't meant to be in that space anymore. And that meant ending a marriage. That meant a major health breakdown that happened at that time. That meant going back to school, leaving my corporate job, becoming a single mom. Like it was everything did a 180. And what came out of that is really getting, you talked about really connecting to your truest self, your higher self. It's like she's there, they're waiting there. It's waiting there for you all along. And so my purpose is helping people to experience it, excavate it, and to live life as with that as the driver in the seat, in the front seat, not the trauma, not our doubts and fears, not the smaller version, but the version that is infinite, that is eternal, that is always here. And I will say that it has been night and day and a unbelievable blessing to live
Yeah.
in this timeline following that guidance versus that of fear, doubt, ego, concern, confusion. So that is for me all of the work and what we'll probably talk about. I'm passionate about it and really understanding we have support. We have support from our higher self. We have support from the other side. We have support from, I would say we put terms on it because we're human. We try to put words, but it's really, I think of it as divine light, different aspects of that light that is here, and we're all equipped. We have what we need, and tuning in is probably the most loving, healing thing we can do. It's a reminder we're not alone and that we're always loved and supported. So that's a little
Right.
bit about why and where and how I'm here.
That's awesome. I really love how what you tapped in on and mentioning about not being driven by our traumas, our past experiences, and how often people they label themselves according to their traumas. And one thing that I've come to, I guess, uh, embrace or even be grateful for is the experiences that I've had that have those powerful emotional attachments to them, the emotional charges that many call traumas. Without those experiences, I would not have had the opportunity to see things from different perspectives, grow from them, and help support other people say, wow, okay, I see what you've been through. I've been through that too. Guess what? There's another side and you can grow through it. And I just love how you approached and said, shifting these things and it's not who we are.
I think it's so important and I appreciate what you're saying. It's, I think there's a both and. There's the we don't want to bypass it and overlook it. I certainly spent time where I just shoved it down. For me it was mainly food, sugar, that was the primary addiction, but
Mhm.
others popped in. Sometimes alcohol, sometimes other things. A lot of times we can do that with distraction, with there's name it. There's a lot of ways to avoid what we're feeling. That is certainly what I'm not saying because we want to experience and to move through it and to allow it to move through. Um, and it's never who we are. Never. It's not the
Right,
essence. And so being able, that's part of my healing story is learning how to feel to heal, learning how to experience those emotions and truly tap into the part of you, of me, of all of us that is the loving witness that is not that's not even I doesn't get scarred by anything, is here to love and
hmm
help kind of bring us back. So yeah, I love what
hmm
you were saying. Word it.
Yeah, yeah. And even I noticed how with the addictions, how frequently do people not recognize sugar as an addiction? And even something to pull us back into the old world. Myself, I just got back from the most amazing conference. I have so much that's going on in my home and moving on with my life. Recognizing, I sat back and thought, what's going on here? I'm suddenly wanting to eat ice cream. Oh, let's have a cookie. Sweet things. It gives me the opportunity when I'm having these things to stop and say, what's really going on here? Would you mind sharing about how you help people go through some of these challenges, like in the work that you do?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I think for me, one of the greatest gifts of going through a lot of with addiction, with frankly, a lot of learning to love myself from feeling not enough, people pleasing, all of that realm is, I always have been sensitive and highly empathic. I think
Mm-hmm.
anybody that's probably tuning in that wants to do this kind of work, we we are and it's needed. I am super grateful because going back to school, I did a master's degree in integrative health and life coaching. So from the positive psychology model, from studying neuroplasticity, mind body science, I got certified with the Heart Math Institute using a lot of tools, positive
Hmm.
neuroplasticity, as I said. It really gave me both the foundation scientifically, but also experientially. And so when I was going back, it was just, I need to do this work on myself. And I
Hmm.
ended up having clients that wanted to work with me out of we all got to do these pro bono sessions. And this is while I was working full time, getting a divorce. Like it was not in my mind, I was like, what is going on? This is a lot happening at once. But divine timing, it happens in its own time. And so for me, the last 15 years of, I love working, especially with high achieving women, with women that are moving from that overly, I would say, active left brain, the hustle, the feeling like, I call them like the type A plus,
Yeah.
that are looking for something that's more bringing in more of a harmony, balance, peace, but also really breaking through whatever the ceiling is to literally like the dreams, the vision that you have, it's there for a reason. If you wouldn't have it if it wasn't meant to manifest. I believe that. I've experienced this
Yeah.
over and over again. So a lot of the work I do is helping. I work with men too, but often women, with humans that are really soulful, heart-led, and looking to break through the self-doubts, the, identity, limited beliefs, feeling not good enough, people pleasing, a lot of the things that I've spent my life working on and continue to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are all falsities. Those are all of the fear, ego, and frankly, as an intuitive and guide, there's also work with calling parts of yourself a little bit more from a spiritual perspective that might have gotten, I think of it like frozen in ice, like parts of you
Hmm.
that are frozen. So that work combined, it's really powerful. I've worked with a lot of, I mean, probably, hundreds and hundreds of people at this point, and it's transformative. To me, the bottom line is we know alchemy exists. We know that when you can take lead and turn it into gold. You can have coal and put pressure and you get a diamond. So why would we be any different? We follow nature and the rules of it. So this work,
Yeah.
it's transformative. It's alchemy, and I've experienced it. I live it, and I've seen it. And my greatest joy is I had a recent client, who lost her father very young,
Hmm.
really tragic situation, and wanted to write a book about it. She was already doing fine in her career, but felt like
Yeah.
something was missing. Her book ended up becoming a big hit. She's back to dancing. She now does dance competitions as a mom of three and just is like
Awesome.
living,
Yeah.
aligned and feels like the gas tank is full versus empty, or if you're of an EV, it's filled with electricity. You're lit up. I would say, I have a father who is a veteran and struggled with PTSD a lot, and we didn't know this growing up. And I think the lesson I got from him, and it's interesting, he's 84. He was saying to me, he really struggled with self-worth, with some massive trauma and depression, and we didn't have the tools in the 80s, right? Like that we do today. And it
Right.
always felt so sad to me that he wasn't doing what he was meant to be doing. He tried to chase other, jobs and businesses, and it never worked. And at 84, he is going back to get his master's degree. He loves history. Yeah. And so I'm like,
Awesome.
it's never too late. Like, is he going to coach football and teach in
Yeah.
high school? Probably not, but you never know. But he's going back because he wants to. So I always use him. I'm like, gosh, it made me sad that he was not pursuing that. And I thought, you can't get to the end of your life and there's like gifts waiting to be unwrapped. Like we're supposed to create, space where we can unwrap them and share them. And it's also never too late. He's doing that now. So very
That's
inspiring.
fantastic. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I love that. And isn't that so true that I love listening to other channelers and Daryl Anka and Bashir, and what you're saying is so in alignment with that. It's
Mm.
the things that bring you joy. Those are the things you're supposed to be doing. And when you're doing the things that bring you joy, bring you happiness,
Yeah.
things are easier when we do what brings us joy.
Well, and you can understand it energetically, you can understand it even scientifically because joy and the vibration and the energy, I'm sure you know the Hawkins scale, right? Joy rank
Yes.
high frequency. So the other thing about it is joy, first of all, it's a natural all of what's released, right? Serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, like we
Hmm.
have those chemicals that go with that, way of being, with that feeling. You're in a state of receptivity, you're in a state of more flow, you're in a state of perceiving and a receiving. So, and it feels good. So it's just really simple. Like what really feels good usually is what brings you joy. And we've been hearing about this. This is like age old advice and wisdom, hundreds of
Right.
thousands of years. It's true. And I think what happens is we're in a culture, that's why I'm obsessed with this, that is very focused on hustle and
Yes.
pushing and striving. So it's going to take something. For me, it's taken a lot of time to unwind that. I still practice this daily. Meditation, hands down, being the best way to start. We have to unwind the conditioning that's everywhere, saying you have to work hard, you have to struggle, you have to strive to do well, to be happy, to have, what you desire. No, it is so upside down and backwards. And so you hear this with
Hmm.
different channelers. For me, it comes in through just a deep sense and knowing and experiencing it. I just know, but it's going to be the opposite of what your left brain, your rational thinking mind is going to say. No, you can't just, we don't have time for joy. You got to do your to-do list. Well, make a joy list then. Why don't you do that first? Be in that
Hmm.
first, then see what happens. As Abraham Hicks says, right? Like get into the vortex and then, get into joy and then. That's what I always try to do and work on myself.
Yes, yeah, and I know I love that. That's so true. I know that that's something that I'm even very guilty of. I mean, as the the mom that was single for many years, taking care of the responsibilities, so on and so forth. Well, there's no time for joy. So then, for someone that says, "Oh yeah, I want to meditate. It feels so good, but I can't because of ABC." Oh, what kind of advice would you give them as to? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, well, what if I have to, if I'm already getting up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready for work so that the kids at blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, where do I find time to meditate? What would you say to that person?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say something with a little tough love here because I've coached. Oh my gosh, this is, I mean, and taught this to so many people. And myself was one of the biggest. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't have time. I think of those that some of the people that I know, some of the monks, the people that are spiritual teachers, any people that are tapped in, that are everyone meditating at least once a day. Often it's
Mhm.
30 minutes, an hour, even more. Here's the thing. If I were to tell you you need to brush your teeth twice a day, nobody says I don't have time. Nobody, right? Like we're
So
told
true.
you need to brush your teeth. You got to take a shower probably once a day. I'm not going to say you have to, right?
Yeah.
You got to eat throughout the day.
Yeah.
Most people are doing food. Some, okay, maybe you fast here and there, but this has got to be looked at in the same way. It is hygiene. It is longevity. I mean, first of all, it's going to help your brain. It's going to help your nervous system. It's going to help your aging, your health. I really think of meditation as the same importance as brushing your teeth and eating nourishing foods and,
Right.
and getting good sleep. It is so if you're the kind of person that you need a little science, you need to understand it. There's so much research on it. It's silly now. There's so much research about how important it is. Look, be gentle with yourself and don't let yourself get off the hook. Even if you're up at 4, can you do a 5-minute meditation and then find a
Hmm.
time later in the day or in the evening? There's nothing to say you can't meditate before bed. Can you give yourself 30 minutes? Get into bed, sit up, find some meditation. It could be guided, it could be, TM or a mantra or just breathing. There's
Hmm.
thousands of ways. Just don't let yourself get off the hook because the future self, the future you that you are like, craving, that you desire to experience, that new timeline, it's not going to happen without meditation or some sort of mindful practice. It's just, I've interviewed 500 people at this point. Every one of them, some of the most well-known spiritual teachers ever, all of them meditation daily. So for
Yeah.
me, that was enough. I'm like, okay. And I actually got into it. Thankfully, I had to write a paper about it. I had to study it. And it was the hardest thing. I did not want to sit still. It was so challenging. And I kept thinking my mind, though, my thoughts. And I remember what I heard was no meditation is a bad meditation. You're going to have thoughts.
Yes.
It's going to happen. Guarantee it, expect it. That's not why we're doing it. We're doing it because we're training ourselves to bring more presence and awareness, and you're training your nervous system to go from sympathetic to parasympathetic, from fight or flight to rest and digest. So it is like just like you'd buy life insurance, just like you would, get enough sleep. This to me, this is like right up there. And be creative. Just be creative. If it's
Hmm.
absolutely you can't do the morning, make a time during lunch, close your door,
Yeah.
go in your car. My husband does this literally, goes in his car, he locks it, he does his meditation there. Sometimes he falls asleep. Whatever,
Yeah.
he's got a different schedule than I do. We have a special needs child as well, my stepdaughter, and for him, it's finding time where it works. So just get creative, but don't miss the opportunity because it is life-changing and it is what changes literally how life appears and feels. And it will also change your brain, which will change everything. So it is worth
Yeah.
your time.
I get that. I totally get that. One of the habits that I've got into, of course, with the whether it's the neurodivergent mind, whether it's the mom, whether it's the woman, the mind does it bzz, 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 all the time trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'll actually sometimes listen to a sleep meditation or an
Yeah.
all-night sleep meditation. But I find when in the mornings, when I get up, my office is out in my garage. I will go out to my garage, or now that the weather's nice, I'll just go in my backyard, socks off, and I'll start with some qigong.
Beautiful.
Very nice calming practice. And sometimes it's just as you mentioned, only 5 or 10 minutes. How powerful that is, and then
Yeah.
it truly does become addictive.
I actually saw an Insight Timer, which is a beautiful app. It's been around, I think, like 14, 15 years. I started, that was the first way I started meditating was that app, and they have bells. I mean, it's grown so much now. And I got asked to be a course creator to create meditations. I used to do this
Beautiful.
years ago, and now there's quite a library. And I have, for example, a 7-day self-love meditation, and I believe there's a lot of free meditations. Most of these are free,
Yes.
and there's a ton on there that are. I have the 5, 10, 15-minute versions. I have longer. There's a lot of teachers on there. I'm just saying that because I've really over the years created a lot of different meditations for different types of meditators, and I always felt like this is just my give back. This app, I know the CEO, I've interviewed him. It's a beautiful group of humans that run this,
Hmm.
that literally have made it so people can do this anywhere. So you can go on YouTube, there's other apps. I just know on Insight Timer, there's a lot there. I have a ton there that are free if anyone's interested. Like it can be helpful just to have, okay, I'm going to do the 5-minute morning motivation. I'm going to do the chakra, I do a chakra alignment. You could do
Yes.
anything. There's no wrong way to do it. The only wrong way is not to do it.
I love that. The only wrong way is to not do it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you're still
That's
not
powerful.
wrong if you don't
Yeah.
do it. It's just you
You
won't have
miss out.
experience. You're going to miss out. Yeah. And I'm not like working for the
Yeah.
Meditation Society. Like I literally, this has changed my health, my body, my everything, my focus, stress. I mean, it's just, it's like an insurance policy and we get to choose, one day at a time, are we going to do this? And I love what you said, Qigong. Oh my gosh, yoga, any kind of
Hmm.
grounding, stretching, or even just hands by the dantian and bringing the chi there. I mean, you could do anything, hand on your heart coherence,
Yes.
take a breath,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I
then
love heart
I,
coherence. It's beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
5 minutes. So anyway, that's my soapbox. I'm going to get down, but I really believe in it. I've seen people who never thought they could, high-powered executives, people in the military I've worked with. I mean, I've worked with a lot of different types that are in, doing big things in the world and that are actually meditating and find it
Yeah.
helpful. Didn't think they could.
Isn't it? It really does help to take us out of this three-dimensional body and connect with something higher. And one of the things that I just, as a child, I loved kaleidoscopes. I could look at a
Mhm.
kaleidoscope for the longest time. Well, now a person I think can go onto the internet and find streaming fractals. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And to just, oh, talk about pulling a person into a meditation. It's absolutely beautiful. And
Yes.
I was thinking of that when you were talking about different types of meditation. And I noticed the design on your shirt. It reminds
Yes.
me of a blend of the flower of life and fractals.
Totally. It's so funny. I always ask, this won't sound weird to anyone here. Whenever I go into my closet, I ask my clothes and all of my things to just speak to me. Who wants to be worn? Who wants to be
Right.
playing? Who wants to play today? And I haven't worn this in a while, and I love using kaleidoscopes. I've actually done meditations with them. I love the whole. I was just talking to someone today, literally about fractals. It's crazy, crazy cool.
Nothing's
And
accidental, right?
nothing at all. And I got, wear me, this one. And it is exactly that. It has that fractal feel as well
Yeah.
as the sacred geometry and one in all in one. The fractal is so cool how our universe is set up energetically.
Oh, beautiful. Yes, yeah, definitely. And I was this retreat that I'd just gotten back from not too long ago. Those are the kind of things, some of the things that we were doing. And one natural healer there, he is that was there visiting, does acupuncture. And he started listening to his intuition and started listening to clothing, natural fibers, clothing with natural fibers were calling out to him. So now in his practice, everything is natural fibers because the energetic frequencies. And I do that myself too. When I look in the closet, no, I don't feel like this. I don't feel like that. It's and for me, quite often, it's what do my chakras need?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, what do my chakras need? Or what does my energy need? And isn't that so
Mm.
true? That there's power in the colors, in the designs, in patterns, in how
Yeah.
we feel.
100%. Yeah. The more we listen, it's beautiful that you're doing that. And this is how I just am finishing a course I teach on the Shift Network. And it was literally about your intuition language and how to tune in. And one of the things you just said, Elizabeth, that's so important is pay attention, listen. Wearing blue, maybe your throat chakra needs more support today. I
Mm-hmm.
have yellow gold around me purposefully. I was attracted to it, but it's such a beautiful, it's a divine power. It's a stepping into empowerment. There's alchemy with that color. So what colors are you drawn
Yeah.
to? And maybe getting out of our head and just where we're gravitating. Often our body is speaking. And are we listening? And it's a great way because we hopefully are wearing some clothes every day, I would think. Something you're going to wear, like to ask, like you do,
Yeah.
what I do,
Yeah.
what needs support? What would love to be around you or me today, right? What would that be? And just to play with it and see what you notice. I love that he looked at garments and fibers, and
Mm-hmm.
that's there's so much research around that. Like the
Mm-hmm.
the frequency, for example, of polyester is negative, it has got a negative frequency energy to it versus linen is high. And actually some
Mm-hmm.
people who go into Kabbalah and other mystical texts, there's a lot about this. It's really ancient. So we're catching up to some of these things that I think have just, we've known collectively for a long, long time.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just so powerful. And I believe that a lot of that has to do with how attentive are we recognizing how we are all attached, and
Hmm.
even to fibers, even to trees. I can hear some of my plants speaking to me. I can hear her energetic frequency vibrating with excitement.
So cute. Little.
It is. It's just amazing. Yeah, just the power in recognizing how much we are a part of each other, and then the synthetic things. Uh, I
Mm.
notice that when even, especially with the type of clothing that I wear, one might save money by shopping on certain sites maybe cost less, but how's it truly going to affect you? How you carry
Mhm.
yourself, how you feel, how you radiate in your energetic frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. And the colors too. I've been in my house for 20 years. I have one room that I've never painted, and it is
Mm.
a vibrant yellow gold in my
Mm.
laundry room of all places. And I just enjoy being in there. And it never even occurred to me. I just knew that I love the color, but it never even occurred to me to think about the energetic frequency of the color.
Yeah. Powerful.
Are there any other last things that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I think just this whole conversation really, to me, the bottom line is empowerment and feeling a sense of power in yourself, with yourself. We're not talking about power over. We've seen that play out for hundreds of
Yeah.
years. We're talking about power in and power together. And so noticing what brings that vitality, your natural, that divine power that we all have, the light, you could say. And so whether it's colors and clothing, whether it's, making time to meditate just like you would to floss and brush your teeth. I really think the bottom line question is, how can I love myself more? How can you love yourself more? And so, whatever you're dealing with or moving through, whether you're working on channeling your higher self, other beings, souls across the veil, to me, the common language, it's love. That's it, period. So when you attune yourself and you ask questions like, how can I be more loving here to myself or to others or in my words or in my actions, my energy, my vibration, you're never going to be led astray. You're never going to be off any path. We're never off a path anyhow, because we're always,
Yeah, right.
on the path of learning and where we're supposed to be. I
Yeah.
just think that's what's coming through me, is that might be a really helpful as a trained coach and guide. I love questions. They're so powerful. And of course, we know when you ask one, the mind moves towards trying to solve it. And so why not ask a question that's going to actually have you, elevate your love for yourself, your frequency, your vibration. And it's the kind of thing we can ask all the time when you're about to sit down for a meal. Is this the most loving thing I can nourish myself with? A conversation with somebody, the meditation conversation, a new job, whatever you're doing. To me, that is the most powerful sacred question we can ask. And what
Mhm.
follows, what I've seen, are just miracles.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I know that in your creations, you've created many things. The retreat you were leading with Angie, you had powerful cards. Now,
Yeah.
were these supportive cards? Were they? Tell me more about those.
Yeah, I can pull one up. I have right here.
Yes.
I call them the Youest You. That's the name of my podcast, intention cards. Our intention is one of the most underused, most important ways of focusing our energy. So whenever you are connecting higher self, the other side, anything you're doing, I would highly recommend you start with an intention. And so this was something channeled through me about 10 years ago. And I sat down on a Saturday morning, and I swear to you, 3 hours later, it was like they were written. And I'm like, what just happened? And I use them all the time, their intentions. And so what I love to do is to set an intention, and then I'll shuffle. And the one that kind of feels most lit up or has energy, it feels like a divine intention. Like, what is the divine giving me? So we can pull one if you want. So we can kind of,
Oh, I would love that. That's so yes, yeah, and
all right.
yeah, and I'll just even share a little story about
Yeah.
when I walked into the room. There's all the
Oh,
chairs laid out. You had your cards on all the chairs. I went to sit down on a chair. I picked up the card. I didn't look at it, but I looked at the chair beside me. I switched cards, and then I looked at it and was like, that was for me.
oh,
You
wow.
can't make these things up.
Yeah.
One has to know this is divine intervention. There is no,
Yeah.
yeah, it was beautiful. I loved it. But
That's so cool.
yeah, please do. Please do. I'd love to see
Okay.
what comes
So
up.
I always ask, my intention is to ask to be a channel to leave my identity to the side so that whatever comes through is for the highest good of all of us. And
Yeah.
that's what I was asking when I shuffled them. And then this one is the one that felt like a lot of energy and light. So, oh, it's a beautiful one. Okay, I'm going to show it to you so you can see it.
Okay.
It
Okay.
is appreciation. Love appreciation. It's a really powerful intention and focus. So it's very short. Appreciation is a powerful focus to focus on. I pause to appreciate all that is happening for me in my life right now. I appreciate that I'm alive, breathing, growing, and learning in my life. How can I add more time and attention to what I can appreciate in my life versus finding what's not working? Remember, what you appreciate appreciates. There's more questions, but I think going back to what we were talking about, Elizabeth, this is that one. I think of appreciation like Miracle Grow. So
Mhm.
if you use this on your plants, think about us as plants. Like you spread this on yourself and it's Miracle Grow. It really is the highest, I think, one of the highest frequencies we can have. So it sounds like it's touching you, that word.
You want to know why?
Yeah, I do. And I love it because
Oh, I
yeah.
have so much beautiful joy and gratitude and appreciation for that. That was the card that was there at the conference for me.
Are you kidding?
I am not. And that's why I
Oh
say,
my
you
gosh.
can't make this stuff up. You can't.
Oh, I love it. I got
And
goosebumps.
so, yeah,
Wow.
and when the soul knows, sometimes that's just how it comes out is in tears because the soul
Yeah.
knows. The
Yes.
soul knows. And so
That
that's just so beautiful. That is so beautiful. I have so, so much appreciation.
Ooh,
So much appreciation. It's like, whoa,
that
thank you,
is
thank you.
gorgeous. There are 33 cards, right? I didn't know that.
Yep.
And this is a great moment. And this is like a little side, I'll say last thing, side dish here is start noticing, tracking these little evidence moments, the signs, the synchronicities. To me, right away, it's like, yep, we are all connected. Yep, there is a divine loving presence that absolutely 100% has got you, has got me, has got everybody and anybody. We just forget. And that
Right.
knowing is so healing. It can heal everything and anything. And then getting, that was the card that you switched and you got and then
Yeah,
happened to be chosen because you remembered the cards. I didn't even have these out. That's alignment. That's beautiful. That's such
totally.
spirit God wink. And this is where
Right.
life just gets more and more fun and more of a like, oh my gosh, what's next? And it starts with like appreciation, which is so ironic.
Right.
That's what you chose. So
The universe is always conspiring to love and support me and
absolutely.
you
Yes.
and everyone listening. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And when
Yes.
we stop to recognize that, we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
just,
would,
yeah.
yes, just keep stopping to recognize it and it'll become more
Yeah,
and it'll just
exactly.
continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Love it. Love it. Love it. That's
Oh,
amazing.
that's amazing. And so, how can people get in touch with you to work with you to find out more about you
Aw,
and the resources that you have?
thank you so much. This has been so fun. Probably the easiest thing is to go to my website, which is just my juliereisler.com. I have so much information there. My podcast, if you are interested in working one-on-one or if you're interested in a intuitive life coach certification, I have a lot of coaches that miss the framework, but also want the spiritual side. This will be my 14th one in September. I
That's so
still
cool.
teach at Georgetown and I have my own. And I also on YouTube is a great place because I have, interviews and meditations and a lot there every week. And it's just my name. Or if you look up the Youest You, and then of course, Instagram, any social media outlet, you can find me with my name. But I love humans. I love being like in this collective. This is what we're here for this time. So if you are moved to reach out or just share or connect, I love it. I would love to connect. This feels like we're all here at this time for a reason. So
Yeah,
if I can be of
awesome. Thank
service.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us behind the sacred veil. Uh, and this has just been so beautiful, so powerful. And I know that all those that are listening today, that you're meant to hear this. You're meant to come to higher levels to evolve. And whatever it was that Julie has shared today, this is for you, no matter what day it is. whether it's 20 years down the road from when we recorded or 20 minutes, this message is for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Julie. It's been a great honor and a great pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing.